This is PCSimulators.org and welcome. Today we're going to look at an aircraft for X-Plane, and it's the PMDG DC6. Now PMDG have got a great reputation for some fantastic realistic aircraft for FSX and P3D, and this is however for X-Plane, and it's specifically for X-Plane 10, but I think it can also be used on XP11. We'll have to see, but it's probably not supported. So this is the aircraft that we're going to be looking at. As you can see, simulator X-Plane 10.45, and the aircraft itself, well, looking it up on Wikipedia, you can see that it was first flew in 1946 on February the 15th, and it was introduced in March of 1947. Number built 704, and it was developed from the DC4 by Douglas into the Douglas DC7. So there's a picture of the real aircraft there, as you can see. And if we scroll down, we can see some stats and I think some specifications. Here we go, 46 to 68 passengers on the DC6. The 6A had, the 6B had 42 to 89. And let's look at some speeds. 311 miles per hour for the DC6 and 315 miles per hour on the DC6A and 6B. Range is quite a range actually. You have 7,377 kilometers with the DC6, and then the 6A you see there 7,995, and even up to 76. Sorry, not up to, and 76 for DC6B. And the service ceiling about 21,900 feet there, 25,000. So that's what we'll be looking at today. I don't want to go into too much specification and details of the aircraft, but that's what it looks like in real life. And there's some photos there which you can actually look up yourself on Wikipedia. So we're going to be looking at starting up X-Plane and be looking at the DC6. So I'll press pause and start X-Plane. And welcome back. So this is the DC6. We have zoomed in a bit and we're going to look at the external view first. So straight away I can see the tyres got great detail on them. You see the tyre treads, okay, the propellers animated nicely as they're spinning, and you got the reflections here on the top of the engine bays. Zoom up a little bit. The texturing looks good. Let's have a look, see if we can zoom into that label there. Oops. Zoom into that label. Yeah, the definition is still pretty good when you zoomed in. So you can see, you can just about make that eagle out. And zoom out again. Let's spin it around to the side. So you can see the textures are good. Those flags are quite small, but you can still make out the detail of the flags, as well as the label here. So that's good. That means the textures are being placed in a good resolution. We'll go to the back, and let's see the control surfaces. Well, actually, I've actually set up my joystick yet, so I'll do that in a second. No, so I don't think I have. And the back, the tail of the plane. Let's have a look at the wing. So what can you say? You can see the firing of the engines there as well. Looks great. I mean, you're looking at that, the reflectivity, the specularity on the textures. The textures look at good resolution. Tire treads, the animation, the propellers look great. So fine job there by PMDG. Can we have a look? There's a pilot as well in there. There you can see him. Is it two pilots? Yeah, there's two. There's the other guy. There might be a flight engineer in there as well. I don't know yet. We'll have a look inside in a second. Okay, so we got a menu here on the left as well. So if you click on that, it allows you to open doors. There you go. So you've got the front cabin exit. He's opening the door, and you should see those stairs come out as well, I think. Yeah, if I click on that, so you see the stairs coming out. Nice touch. And cargo holds. So you've got the cargo hold open in there. Cargo doors. Now what are those? Let's see where the cargo doors are. Ah, they've gone the other side. So they're open in there on that side as well. And the cargo entrance. So you can see that door's opened at the back. So there you go. That's a nice bit of animation as well. We'll have a look at the cockpit lighting in a second. So let's close all these doors. And the other side of the menu we have mechanic stands. So if you click the mechanic stand, you see they pop up, so that means that when it's in maintenance the mechanics can get to those engines. The engine oil pans, you see underneath the engines, you just appeared, if you just missed it there, the engine oil pans. The I'm not sure you see this, the pitot covers, where they come up. You can actually see where they are. Let's move this window a bit. Move it. Okay, wheel chocks. The wheel chocks on. See the wheel chocks just about come out there. The tow bar and tractor. So you got the tow bar at the front there, and the engines have actually stopped. So you got the tow bar as well. Excuse me. Oh, my engines have stopped. There you can see them. Actually, that's a good thing, because you can see the engines slowing down and the propeller stopping, which is good. So that's great. Okay, so we now click on ready for start. So we'll get rid of all these external items, and we'll put ready for start. So we click on ready for start, and you see the doors are starting to close. You even got the aircraft ready to start. Yes, click ready for start. Yes, there you go. Okay, so what else have we got? We also got a fuel and load manager. So you can see here that you can adjust your cargo holds and the number of passengers and the fuels in the tanks. You can set your fuels. What have we got here? Also the artificial flight engineer, which we'll have a look at in a second. We'll be looking to using him. He'll be helping us before start and after start. So you have him there to help us. And as well, you've got some settings here for realism, damage alerts, head shake enabled. You can see the engine damage enabled, etc. So, and the final one is scenario. So you can load the scenario, or you can save a scenario. So click on load, and I can't see anything popping up there, but okay. Scenario 2. Nope, there's nothing there. Okay, so I'm not sure why that's not appearing with anything. But right now, I'm going to adjust my joystick, so we're going to be ready for flight, and we'll take this for a spin and have a look inside. So we'll press pause for a second, and then we'll be back after my joystick's configured, and we'll have a look inside the cockpit. Okay, so this is the cockpit of the PMDG. You can see the amazing detail you have in here, the textures of the seats, the creases in that seat. If you look at the yoke, whoops, you get the wear of the antenna on the yoke, the dials and switches, and there's lots and lots of them. Look at all these dials. This will take someone a long time to know what all these dials do, so you need a lot of time to spend on the tutorials and the manuals. And even in the middle there you have a GPS system, which has obviously been fitted in very recently. So you've got some modern aids in there as well. But look at that. Look at that cockpit. And look at that attention to detail. Absolutely superb. Okay, so we're going to take off, and before we do, we need to move this and release it. Otherwise, your control surfaces won't work. So after doing that, you should be able to get some movement on your yoke. We're going to power up the engine and take off the brakes, and we are going to take off. And here we go. So there's a bit of rudder work to do here. It's an older plane, so we need to keep it straight on the runway. And we're going to take off and do a circuit. So yeah, that safety lever that you need to remove, disengage, otherwise you won't be able to use any of the yoke pitch and elevator control, which will throw some people, because it's an older aircraft, it has that mechanism. So just do what I did, remove that catch, safety catch, and they should be able to fly. And your engines will also work, all 4 engines rather than just 1 or 2 if you've got that safety mechanism on. So keeping it straight on the runway, and we'll start to rotate in a second. In fact, we'll rotate now. I can see that we're ready to rotate, and off we go. And we're airborne. raise the flaps. Excellent, fantastic. So we're going to do a circuit of this airfield, which I believe is Birmingham, and see how it lands as well. So as I was saying, look at that cockpit, look at those dials, and start reading. I haven't got a clue what all these dials do. I'm just using the basic knowledge I have of other aircraft to fly this. It took off quite nicely. I had to use a bit of work on the pedals to make sure that I kept it straight on the runway. But how does it fly? It feels fantastic. So if we can get an outside view as well while we're flying. Oh, we've got our gears, we need to put them up as well. There it is. Wow. Listen to that noise. That roar, the throaty roar of the engines. And that's a better view that we've got outside. We're going to do a turn and land. Look at those engines go. Look at them firing. Look at that. That's the rear. I said this is for XP10, but I hear that some people have got it working with XP11, so we will try it also in XP11 and update everyone on our website. For the purpose of this video, this is XP10, so we are going to just show you this in XP10 for the time being. And look at that majestic this thing flies. Look at that. Those propellers go, and the engine sound is, to me, is one of the best features of this. It really sounds as if, well, I say it's an old aircraft because we're looking at it as an old aircraft, but it sounds none like modern aircraft, none like modern jets, of course, but they got that sound right. So we're turning in and we're going to be flying towards the same runway that we landed at. And I always wonder here if there is a ride along shift 8. Okay. Ah, so is this the flyby view? Never remember the fly we are. Look at that view. Fantastic. XP10 is still a good flight simulator, even though XP11's out. I still use it as well as XP11. Okay, so we're gonna set up a final approach, and then we'll see how it lands. So we'll pause the video at this point, and then we shall see how it lands. Okay, so we're going to try and land within a circuit at that airfield right in front of us. We need to lose a bit more height. It actually feels quite precise flying it, and even though it's an older aircraft, it does feel I've got a lot of control over it, and I'm moving it, and it's responding, and it's no delays. It feels heavy, mine. It does feel like it's heavy. Let's just line this up and make sure that I'm probably approaching this at quite a steep angle. I could have landed at the other airstrip, right? Thought we were going to try this one. Here we go. Line it up straight. And the safe landing. Landed nicely, actually. So the first time I've landed the PMDG DC6, and it went nice and smooth. Okay, so let's look at that landing in a few seconds. So that's the DC6. Fantastic. Perfect takeoff, perfect landing for the first time, I must say. And then have like a replay. So let's save the replay and then load it up. DC6. Save. Okay, and we'll have a look at that replay of that landing so you show you guys what it looked like. Open replay. And okay, let's do the takeoff as well. Let's change that view to a chase. Shift 8. So this is, oh, that's a shame. What's happened there? I suppose you need to unpause it. There you go. So unpause it, and the aircraft comes back. This is our takeoff. I think we have to move it along a little bit because we were talking a bit there. So that's the takeoff. And away we go, nice and smooth, and there it is in all its glory. I think I forgot to put the gear up for a few seconds afterwards, but I did remember that eventually. So that's the takeoff that we performed earlier on, and you see the flaps going up as well at the back, on the wings I mean. That's a good view of it now with all the lighting on the aircraft. I think we did put the gear up. I hope we did. Let's zoom in a little bit closer. Let's see what it'll perform with those engines firing. The gear's still down. I'm sure I put the gears up, and as I forgot. Ah yeah, they are. I'm sorry, I did put them up. So that's us taking off. And then we'll move on to the landing. So gives you an idea of what it looks like in flight. I gotta say that it was a pleasure to fly this aircraft. I really enjoyed it. It was a bit of a challenge without all the aids that you normally get, but it felt precise at the same time, if that makes sense. So I think we did a bit of a steep descent here, as you can see. I didn't want to keep the video too long, so I wanted to land this quickly. I didn't want to give you guys a long video to watch. So I came in quite steep, but I still managed to maintain control on the landing, which was good. Let's get a good shot of that from the side. Getting touchdown from there. Over the motorways. And here he comes, straighten up. Oh, that was pretty good, I must admit. I was joking at first, thinking it was perfect, but yeah, it was a very good landing. I'm quite happy with that. And that's the DC6 for X-Plane 10 by PMDG. And let's hope they make more aircraft for more aircraft for X-Plane. We'd love to see a native X-Plane 11 aircraft, but PMDG have a lot of aircraft for FSX and P3D, and as far as I know, this is their X-Plane 10 aircraft, and it performs fantastic, it looks fantastic, and I'm going to give this a 9 out of 10 because it's absolutely superb. And if you haven't got it, I would highly recommend it. Thanks to PMDG for letting us have a copy of this, and we'll be reviewing more PMDG aircraft in the next few weeks, so keep an eye out for that. In the meantime, don't forget to visit pcsimulators.org, where we have lots of reviews and articles, and we're hoping to have an interview with PMDG themselves very shortly, so look out for that one. So in the meantime, don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button as well if you like this video. It does help us make more, and until next time, good evening.